Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the SGDA Summit 2026. We're here with our first game until we get right from UCLA. I'm Jason, the president of SGDA. I'll let Anuj and the team introduce themselves. So, Anuj, if you could start, please.
Everybody, it's Anuj. You probably saw me about 5 seconds ago, but I'm the webmaster of SGDA, and I'll be the host for the Student Game Showcase slots. As Jason mentioned, we're here with Until We Get Love Right. If the team would like to go ahead and introduce themselves, go ahead.
I'm
You wanna go
Michael.
first,
I'm
Michael?
the I'm Michael. I'm the programming lead on Until We Get Love Right. Very excited to be here.
I'm Jaden. I'm the writing lead for Until We Get Love Right, and I'm also really excited to be here.
Yo, I'm Jiawei. I'm the lead artist for the game, and I'm super excited to talk about it.
Okay, cool. Okay, I guess you already know us. So, yeah.
Okay, so I'll be covering about the general gist of what this game is about. We've poured our heart and soul into this, and so I hope that you guys will at least try it. Basically, you play as some down bad loser in college with no friends. You can get the full college experience through this game, actually. Well, most of it. The premise of when you start it, the first day, basically you're put into a group project with in your physics class, and your goal is to pick one of your three different group mates to romance over the next 3 days to get a date. It sounds kind of crazy to see if you can get a date with your group members, but they're all kind of crazy, so it'll probably work out. So live the life of a college student again, or right now if you haven't already. So you can see on the top left, get closer to your love interest, or you could attend political debates, or study in the library, or pay attention in lecture, or not. I don't know. I'm not you. More things you could do. You could stalk people at their dorms, which I don't recommend in real life, but I mean, you could eat slop at the dining hall, which is a classic. Go to furry club meetings. You know, not every club got one of those, but I'm pretty sure most clubs, most schools got a furry club or furries. Shout out to furries. Or you could crash out about being alone, which is honestly every college student's like experience ever. So, and now for the moment you've all been waiting for. These are our three love interests. So first on the very left we have Luke. He uses he/they pronouns. Occupation is a nerd. Basically, bro is the definition of actually. He likes plants, trivia, and he hates plastic straws, unproductive people. He is the type of person in a group project to make like hound you until you get the project done. In the middle, we have Shun. He uses he/him pronouns. His occupation is a shut-in. He kind of low-key is like that one guy who you might know in your class who's like obsessed with anime. He really likes rhythm games. He procrastinates a lot, but I mean, he gets stuff done mostly. And he likes hot chocolate. He hates himself though. But I mean, it's okay. Maybe you could fix that. Maybe you could fix that. Just saying. And finally, on the right, we have Shay. They use they, them pronouns. Their occupation is conspiracy theorist. Low-key, they're always like scared and shaky. And so like to kind of protect themselves, they are always in their protected places. And they hate going outside, they hate nosy people, they hate politicians. And honestly, I get it. I get it so much. And that's our love interest. But, you know, unfortunately, all of these people are crazy because, you know, trying to pick up love in your group project that was randomly assigned to you is hard as fuck. So, like, you you might fail the first time, but that's okay. Passing it over.
Yeah, so after that, you decide to just sleep in and enjoy the weekend without these crazy people. And here we have this little clip of what happens. Yeah, you died, unfortunately. Very sad. But then, when you start the game again, some things are different because you are in a time loop. And basically, the idea is in a lot of like visual novels, you know, when you fail, you can just like replay again. But here, all the replays happen inside of the plot. All of these experiences are experienced by the character you play as. And as you learn more information about the world and the love interests, you learn it at the same time as the player character, which unlocks a lot of new stuff in every future loop. So now that you have unlimited time to try out everything, what are you going to do? What do you think the player character is going to do? Obviously, they're just going to try to get the love interests to love them back and try to get a date with them because that's totally the most important thing. Yeah, so the player objectives are you need to learn more information about your love interests to get a date. You need to figure out how to survive whatever that red laser was, which is a very fun and totally not terrible experience. Some optional things you can do if you really want to get into it. You can attend lectures and conferences to understand the history of the world because there's this whole alternate history thing going on. And you can uncover and investigate a hidden conspiracy to subvert the federal government, but only if you want to. Yeah, so this game is mainly inspired by Undertale. Obviously, like Undertale also has like sort of time travel. The battle system is like very based off of Undertale. A lot of the humor is kind of Undertale adjacent. It is also inspired by the web novel Mother of Learning, which is very cool and underrated. This game is actually very heavily implied. Well, not implied. It straight up is to take place a few hundred years in the future of a timeline of this book on a different continent, though. And also, like a lot of visual novel aspects were inspired by like Doki Doki Literature Club. There's a lot of existential horror in certain areas of the game. If you're interested in that, so yeah. Yeah, going back to gameplay, you gain more dialogue options by leveraging. You gain more dialogue options by learning more information about the characters in the world. Information is the most important currency in this game. Like if you know more, it lets you do more. Nothing else carries over between loops besides that. Some things they get easier if you do them repeatedly. For others, you have to keep trying out different options. And also, just to like make this less painful, if you've already done something and nothing changes, we will let you skip it. There's a skip button in the right corner that you can just press. Yeah, and heading off to Jaden to talk about the mini games.
Yeah, so beyond just going through the visual novel and stuff, there's a bunch of different mini games that you can do. And each of the main routes has one. So here you can see in the top left, that one is for Luke. If you want to succeed on getting a date with him after you do good enough on the project to impress him, he gives you like a trivia. And this trivia is not meant to be knowledge that you would actually know. It's incredibly difficult. But he tells you like what the answer is when you get a question wrong. So this is meant for you to like exploit the fact that you're in a time loop to ace his quiz and make Luke actually like you and be impressed with you. And then for Shun, being a rhythm game anime obsessed loser, you eventually you can play like games with him. And for this, there's a rhythm game that he's been playing but has been stuck on. And so that in the bottom left is what you do for him, is you can help him beat a level in this game. And then for Shay, it's not pictured here because it's kind of, it's it's less of a mini game, but more of like an extended sequence where you actually go into the depths of this conspiracy and you have to try to get them out alive. And so it's going to be about like figuring out what are the best options to navigate the very difficult situation that their paranoia has led themselves into to try to get them to safety and get yourself to safety. But you can also use that to investigate on your own as well, the stuff that you learn from them. And then, of course, there's combat. So this is where the Undertale combat system that Michael was talking about comes in. So here in the top right, you have some goons. There's like 2 mini bosses that work for this conspiracy to overthrow the government. And you actually encounter them during that Shay minigame. And you have to fight them off and try to run away or just kill them if you think you can beat a guy to death. And the bottom right, that's actually a move from the boss fight, which, there's a pretty expansive final boss fight. That's kind of the ultimate test of everything you've learned so far. And to, this is where some of the more thematic elements come in about having like the hope to continue persevering despite all odds. And for shout outs, it's not just us. We couldn't have done it without all these people here and their amazing contributions. Artists, people making music, that rhythm game we were talking about, the original code for that was made by our friend Jingyao. So thank you to everyone else who helped out who's not presenting today. And then for character voices, so this is also like Undertale. It uses that like kind of voice system. So we have people who say stuff, and then we turn it into kind of like the chiptune type voice. And some of these are pretty distinct, actually. Like the political debate guy, Cervantes, you can definitely tell that Ben Shapiro was taken as his voice. But here are all the people who have given their voice and to allow our characters to have their kind of unique styles of speaking.
All right, so now I'm gonna go into early development. So you might be wondering, where the hell do we even get all of these ideas to even like form this game? So this originally started out as like a game jam game, but low-key we got cooked on that. But like I'm pretty sure the theme was like loop or something. Yeah. And so we wanted to expand upon that. So we chose something with time loop. It seems kind of cliche, but I really wanted to do something like a shitty visual novel based off bad fan fiction. So a lot of the pro tags were based, or I guess main love interests were based on like shitty fanfic tropes. So Shun would be, or just like the most annoying tropes you could ever find in like fan fiction, anime, etc. Shun, I think, was based off of like the sweaty gamer bro, like the shut-in. Luke is based off of like, I think what I wrote initially was like very obsessed with being vegan and also supportive of the environment, but also a huge nerd. Shay was, I think, just always paranoid. I think that was like the biggest thing, just always shaking paranoid. Sort of meant to be like, haha, okay, funny. They're just kind of scared all the time, but obviously stuff got more complex and we started expanding into lore, and we finished a general idea of the story very early on, though because of time constraint and how the scope of the project was so large, it was very difficult to actually finish in the time of the game jam. If you look on the left side on that sheet of paper, you can see early sketches from my dear friend Huiyun. She did Cervantes, the history teacher, and the physics professor. I love the original concepts because it just shows like how much thought we put into making these character designs. I went through several iterations for the love interest because I wanted to really encapsulate like, I guess, just all of those tropes, but also make it interesting enough so if I were to just show you a shadow of the character, you could probably identify it pretty easily who's who. Yeah, I think that's it.
I'll talk about middle development. So we we had to get a lot of art for this game, and we were trying to get people for a while. We finished the first 2 days pretty quickly, but the third day was like when everything diverged a lot. So like it was a lot of just like gradual, like incremental progress like over this time. It was pretty much just a grind. We applied to like get help from like the UTO's game dev club. And they said they accepted our application, and then they canceled on us the day before they were supposed to get us people. So we just kind of got cooked. But around this time, we like really got invested in this. We decided to like a lot of the tropes from before kind of like developed into like actual characters. Like we kind of like this is when we actually started putting like our hearts and souls into like everything.
Yeah, and then in the wake of the UCLA's game dev club canceling us, it didn't actually slow us down all too much. It was definitely a bummer, but I think here, as Michael was saying, like we had already been super invested in it, and at this point, we were just like, well, even if we don't have the support of the club, we'll just keep going. And so this is like for me, anyways. This is where I wrote a ton of stuff. So in the middle development, and then at this point, like a bunch of stuff has been added, and kind of all the things that we had thought about way back in like September when we outlined the whole story for the game kind of started to actually happen here. So like this is when you could finally date people now, right? Like and then the whole like secret police and conspiracy to overthrow the government stuff that we've been talking about for months and months and months and months was finally actually in the game. You can actually do that stuff. You can like, yeah, and that was I don't know. It was I think it was like a good era. It was a lot of work for us, but our vision kind of became concrete by that point. Like, well, I guess the vision was concrete, but we actually actualized it. So if this has been interesting and you want to check it out, we have you can go to our itch and there is a web build that you can play. But there's also downloads if you want to download it, which might be good because when we update it, you'll lose your progress in the web. So if you want to play through the entire game, because it's pretty long actually, if you do all the routes, you should probably download it. And if you're interested in being a playtester or an artist or like, I don't know, being more in contact with us, we also have a Discord that you can join and you can send us a message there. If you're interested in like, I don't know, pitching in for the development of the game in any way.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming by and presenting the game. This was Until We Get Love Right. Thank you to everybody for coming by and speaking with us. Next up, we have Mech Believe Mega Brawl. We'll be back in just a second, but yeah.
Thank
very
you.
much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.